Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to look into yet another session which is on SQL Server configuration. This session will be mostly related to the configuration of the SQL Server and how the database is created, what are the system databases, and how the database can be connected from different places. So for that, let me go here into the server. So I'll open a MS Paint. So I'll explain it here. Think that the blue line which you are seeing, is an office. The black line which you are seeing is an office network. Think that there are two teams, which is application team and another is database team. So application team used to develop application and connect their application to the database. The same way the database team want to manage the database, they also connect to the database which is hosted in the data center. So there is a data center where the SQL server is installed, wherein both these people, application team and database team, try to connect to the database to use that database. So this is what we have different types of connectivity, how the database is being connected. So from the application point of view, I'll explain you how the application team will be connecting. Before that, I will explain you related to the database connectivity. So database people uses a tool called Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So this is a tool which is used to manage the Microsoft SQL Server database. It is very simple. Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio means a software, a tool which is used to manage SQL Server which is running on the server. So let us see, the SQL Server is running here. Okay, so we are good that SQL Server is running, but what is there in that SQL Server? What it is doing inside? How we can view that particular thing, what it is happening inside? To do all this, we require a tool to manage this particular services which are running. As this is running, think that there is a software which is running and we want to see what is happening inside. So though there are other options like command prompt which is used as SQL CMD, which is command prompt, which is used to connect to the database through here, but we don't have more options to use here. From here I can connect to the database and I can see what is going on and all, but we cannot get more information from here, what exactly we are looking into, what is there inside to check what is happening. For that reason, the tool got developed to connect to the database services and see what is happening inside. So this is a database engine which is running, and this is another component. We have two components here. One is we have SQL components. One is SQL Server Database Engine, means place where data or databases are created or stored. Next one is SQL agent. SQL agent is nothing but a scheduler or automated process to execute as per schedule. So we can tell it is a scheduler. So we have two components here. So that we can see here. See, this is MS SQL means it is a database engine. Our everything what we connect is important here, which is the database engine. Below that we have agent which is used for scheduling. This is a separate service which will be running. Suppose we will try to stop this and we will see whether we are able to connect to this. So I am using SQL Server Management Studio to connect to the database. Connect database engine. We are focusing on database engine here, and I am seeing this is the server name which I have, and I will connect here and I'll click on connect. As you can see here, you can see the green color means the services are running, and I am able to connect to the services. As this is stopped state, this is showing red mark saying that it is in stopped state and we cannot do anything with that. So see if we start that, what happens in the background. See, so if you see this is started, so now I can see what is happening in the jobs. Now we are able to connect to the services which are running here. Okay, let us see what happens once we stop the services. Like I'm stopping the services. So when I stop the services, it will ask, as the agent is also dependent on the services, it will ask, do you want to stop these services also? Click on yes. See, both these running, which are running is stopped now. Okay, it is not running, it is in stopped state. Now I will try to connect to the database engine and see whether I am able to connect or not. I am trying to connect to a database services which are installed in this server, but the point here is they are not running in the background, so I cannot connect to the database engine. So if it is not running, it will not accept any connections also. So I just want to show you that the services are should need to be running in the background for our databases to be active, for our the connections to come, and for doing any activities on the database. So at any point of time, if it is running only, means the database will be running. If it stopped, means database is down. Now this is the SQL Server Management Studio. I connected to this. So inside that we have these options, databases. Inside that we have an option called databases, security, server objects, replication, always on. These are all components in the SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, now the database team is able to connect to the SQL Server which is installed here. But how the application team connects? So the application team connects through the application they are using. So they will be using a driver. They will be using a ODBC driver to connect to the database. So I'll show here how they will be connecting. Okay, they will be, initially we will be creating a connection string. We'll be creating a connection string saying that name will be app connection. Description we can give a description app connection. Server name, instance name we need to give same as the instance name which is running, and I will give running. I'll click on next. So next I will click on the next. Okay, I'll try to connect with the other option. ODBC here. So here the name app connection. Now I am just showing how usually the application team connect. The application team connects to a driver. They will be creating this app underscore connection. Click next. We'll click next and we'll click next. We'll try to enter the password. See here with SQL Server login password by user with SQL Server login password it will be giving. So we will be giving a login ID and we will be providing password and click on next. We will click on next. We'll finish and we'll try to connect. See here test completed successfully. Then we'll OK. Then we'll see here the name. The name is the app underscore connection means that the application team will use this connection to connect to this particular database wherein this is the driver which helps out to connect between the application different third party softwares to the database. So this SSMS is a tool created to manage the databases, but this driver is used to connect from the application to the database through a third party softwares. So I'm just trying helping you how the people will be connecting to the database. Once we go into onto the floor, we can the DBA team can connect directly here. But how the application team is connecting is the way they will be using the ODBC driver to connect to the database. And once we come here we have components like databases, security, server objects and other thing. I will majorly focus here on which are required. So presently we require databases, security and agent. These are the major thing which we use on a regular basis. Databases means what is the database, what are the database created on the database. As we know that database engine is running, but here we don't see any databases. We only see the system databases, but we don't see any databases here. And we have logins here. We know we had a detailed discussion about the logins in the previous session. We have the logins. When we click here we can see that, and the scheduled jobs we can see here. This is a default one we can create here. So now as you see here, this is the instance name which I logged in with home PC Azure admin. This is the databases under this, and the security under this we have. So we are able to see the system databases. I'll create a new database. I'll just create a new database and I will give a database name called job ready. I'll just give you a database name called job ready and I click on OK. So you can see here there is a system databases and there is another database also. Both icons are different, means if it is having folder means there is something in the folder. If it is database means this is a database. If you click here you can see that these are the databases. These are the databases. You can see these are called as system databases. They are default and it need to be there for the SQL Server to run. System databases should be there for the SQL Server to run, means for the engine, the services to running also, to be in a running state also, it should have this system databases. This is called an user database. Whether user database is there or not a matter. We can delete or do anything. But system databases are so much critical so that this database running will be based on this particular system databases. Okay, you can see the system databases as system databases. You will see here what are those. One is, as you see here, one is master database, another one is model database, another one is MSDB, another one is tempdb. So these are the four system databases which are available in the SQL Server database engine. So what is master? Master holds all the information related to database and logins. So master database holds all the information related to database and the logins. There will be multiple other, but this is important thing which we want to focus. So another one is, I'll show you how we can see that. Another one is model. This is database is a template for template database which is used as a base database template. I will explain this also. MSDB is a database system, another system database which is used to manage the SQL agent scheduler jobs. All the information, all the data is available of the scheduler jobs or agent jobs is available on the MSDB. TempDB is a system database used to store the temporary data which is used to perform any DB related operation. So these are the four important system databases. Usually in interview they will ask for sure about this. If you go with 3 years of experience, what are the system databases and please explain. So you need to be ready with your answer about this system databases. Suppose see here, this is a system database. If I select new query, I can get some data. Select star from databases. Okay, I'm able to get I'm able to get all the information which are available, all the database details which are available in the master DB. You can see here these are the databases. It holds all the data related to the database which is available in the SQL Server. All the information related to the SQL Server. As I told, this master DB holds all the information related to SQL. It also holds select star from sys logins. We'll try this and we'll see. So you can see these are all the logins which are available in the system instance. Means that it is holding the information of the logins and data, and multiple are there, but I don't want to focus now. These are the databases it is master DB is holding. And next is model DB. If you see here model DB, if you click here properties, so whatever the template it is having, see 8 MB 8 MB, 64 MB 64 MB. You can see the location, data, all this. So this is a template. So if I want to create a new database, the template will be copied here 8 8 64 64 and the location is data. So model database is used as a baseline template for any newly created databases or any other databases which we are going to create. That is related to the model database. Coming to the MSDB, so you are able to see, right, MSDB. If I want to use the MSDB, I can click here and new query. You will see MSDB, or else I can create use MSDB, execute use MSDB. Presently it is in master. If I execute, it will show as MSDB. Means we are going into the database, from open to into the database. Now we can see here, select star from. As I told, MSDB is a database which holds information related to the SQL agent jobs or the scheduler jobs. You can see here there is one job which is created. I can create another job. It is a test job thing that I created, I'll execute. See here, test. So it holds the information about the system agent, SQL agent jobs in the MSDB. So tempdb is a database which holds the temporary data. I don't think we will see here, as we are not executing any temporary data. Whenever any temporary data is come or anything to be processed temporarily, the data will be saved in the tempdb and it will be cleared later. So these are all the important system databases available in the SQL Server. Now I will create a new database. Okay, I will help you. Let us go to the slide and see overview of management. This one, exploring configuration manager. Okay, let us go there before coming here. So once you install SQL Server, you have a configuration manager. Means there is a if you want to do some configurations, see the services. We are seeing the services here as SQL Server. Again here also, this is, see here, SQL Server configuration manager. Means all the configuration related to the SQL Server will be available in this particular window, which shows it is running. It is running related to this, and it is showing. Okay, so it is running here, and agent it is running. So what we are seeing here is, if it is running, it is, what is the properties, because as I told, this is a configuration. We can change the configuration. Here we will be exploring the database. After that, what is the database, what is the SQL database, how it is created, we will look into this now. And next part is what is MDF and what is LDF. So okay, we'll understand these points now. It is already started. Let me try again. Okay, so what is MDF, what is LDF? We will complete this points now. So database is a collection of two files, basic two files. Database SQL, example SQL database. Collection of or else we can use combination of MDF is called master data file, and LDF means log data file. So this is a combination of MDF dot LDF. So without these two files, there is no database. We cannot create or access database. Database is a combination, mandatory combination of .mdf and .ldf. So in SQL Server, if you call any database, that will have minimum two files which are with format .mdf and .ldf. Suppose we'll open here. Suppose the services are in stopped state. I'll just start this services SQL Server. As I told, this configuration manager is also used to start the services. Okay, so here this one. So okay, we'll come back. So this is the services. What we can start here. Change the properties of the configuration SQL Server. Change the login manual file. All the startup related everything. We can do some configuration here. Also, we can see here related to this particular stopped or what to do. What are the activities to do. So we'll see the protocols. We have some protocols called name pipes, TCP/IP. So TCP/IP is a protocol which is used to connect from the outside region, wherein I'll just want to show you the port number. So 1433 is the port number allocated for SQL Server. As I'm telling here, the whoever connects to the database, they need to use a port number called 1433. Anyone, because that 1433 port number is dedicatedly assigned or allocated to the SQL Server. So I just want to show this particular name protocols where we can see the which is enabled. I'll come to this what is the name pipe shared memory protocols later part. I'll just giving you some overview here. Now we'll go back to the database. Today we have an important concept here which is the database. Okay, as I told, there is a combination of master file, .mdf and .ldf. Suppose we will create a database. Okay, database underscore name. I will create a database underscore name. You can see here the template we received it from the model database, and it is going ahead and creating the location as here, and I'll open that location before itself. So I'll open this. So now we are able to see the data file and the log file of the system databases. I will create this database also, and we'll see. See here, database name, SQL Server primary data file. Here, transaction log file means log file. It is a log file. Means it is a combination. Database is a combination of master data file or the primary data file or the log file, transaction log file, LDF, log data file. We'll call as log data file, .ldf and .mdf. Okay. So this is one which you can see here. The file type is .ldf, means log data file. And if you want to see the properties of this, you can see .mdf. It is a .mdf means master data file. So we are good and we are fine. We created the MDF and LDF, and now I don't want to think that I don't want this database. Will delete this log file. We'll try to delete this log file and try. So what is saying, the action cannot be completed because the file is open in SQL Server. See that the database is active here, and while we are trying to do this, it is showing it is already used. You cannot do anything on that. So if a database is being running on the server, and if you are able to trying to delete the database, you will not be able to delete because it is in use. The same way, any file which is in use, you will not be able to delete because the database is active here. The database is active here. Now I will show you what happens if one of the LDF is not there, or the LDF is missing. I'll stop here. What I will do is I'll change the location of the log data file, and we will try to start the SQL services. Now we will not be able to connect. It is in red. It will go into red as it is the 7. Now what I will do is I will cut this and I will copy this outside of this, and now we have the master data file, but we don't have the log data file. Now what I will do is I'll start the SQL services and see what is happening, what happens on the SQL service level. Okay, the service is running. It is not started. It will later we'll look into that. So it is running. Now I'll click, see here, recovery pending means database is trying to recover with the two files, which is MDF and LDF, but it will cannot recover because there is no LDF in the path which it is supposed to have. It cannot, it is not able to find SP under help DB. I can put here and I can enter the database name here. I'm just showing you the location where the database files are supposed to be. SP underscore help DB. Okay, so the database underscore name. So you can see here I'm trying to show you this is the database name, and the where should be the data file. Here this location, the database name for this location, it should be a database file, and this location it should be log MDF, but here we don't have LDF, only this location, which is the reason the database is not accessible and it cannot come back. Now what we will do is I'm just showing you the importance of having two files, and if one file is not there, what happens, one file is misplaced, what happens. Now what I will do is I will bring back the file and paste it here where it is supposed to be the location, and I'll start it again. So now you will be able to see the database. It is the database. Here the database you are able to see now. See here, now you are able to get the data. Previously it was not able to identify with this. Now it is able to get the required data because the status is online. You can see here the status is online, which is the reason we are able to get the required data. So here I just want to show this information in this particular class, how the database, what is MDF. You should know by now you should know what is an MDF and what is an LDF and the importance of those files. Okay, late part of time we have the continuation of this session. On the next session I will be taking you into the in-depth concepts of the database and how the database is structured. That will give you more information about the database, SQL database, which will help you understanding more in depth of the database process. So I hope this session is useful for you and you learned something. And if you feel that you learned something, I recommend you to subscribe to our channel, and please do share and ask your comments. If you have any doubts, ask your comments in the comment section. I'll be looking into and I'll be responding back to you. So for this session we will end up here, and we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you everyone.